Okay, it's Dan here again, and being that the primary purpose of this channel is to help others, it's my responsibility and my duty to create this video today. In the last YouTube short I made, I talked about the new foundation for Canada. That was the title, the new foundation of Canada, and I outlined essentially how the corrupt Laurentian elites are keeping this corrupt WEF, UN puppet, commie-hungry government in power, and mostly through the use of hate propaganda, hate mongering towards the United States and towards President Donald John Trump. And an interesting tidbit for our British Columbia viewers is that uh, Donald Trump's grandfather opened his first hotel in British Columbia during the gold rush. It was actually in Bennett, British Columbia, a town called Bennett, and that's kind of where it all started, the Trump empire. And anyway, that's just an interesting a tidbit. But I was going to talk about some of the hallmarks of communism, and there's a lot of them, so I'm just going to go over a couple of them. One of them, for example, is common ownership of land, factories, and farms. And land, well, that's been around for a while in Canada. You know that you don't really own the land that you own. You're really just a custodian of the land. You don't really have private property ownership in Canada. But the factories and the farms, we see the factories. Look at Alberta with the green scam and what they're doing to the economy there, and taking control of those factories and farms. We've seen it just recently with the ostrich situation over in Edgewood, British Columbia. Those ostriches they slaughtered, and like the CFIA knew before it even went to the Supreme Court that it wasn't going to go to court, and they already had everything set up and their kill pen set up and etc. That's just an example how they'll just walk into your farm and do what they like. And anyway, so that's common ownership, and then the classless society. We see that the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, right? And we have record lineups at food banks. People are suffering. We got veterans living on the streets, and that's an example of the classless society. There's that big divide growing. There's no more middle class, and the single party rule. That's another hallmark of communism, and that one is we've seen a lot of that going on. Like the propaganda, hate, fear campaign against the United States and against President Trump that they are using to keep this corrupt government in power. That's one example. The floor crossing, we don't know what's going on there. Remember that Carney wasn't even elected; he was installed, right? So this is that one-party rule, and the NFG, NDP, and their dirty tactics and other dirty tricks, like the timing of when Blackface decided to resign. It was all perfectly timed and orchestrated, and even the budget being released just recently here, the timing of that, he held it back till now. So these are all shady tricks, and paying off the media, all the mainstream media that's been paid off by the government of Canada to push their liberal left-wing propaganda. And of course, the worst offender being the CBC, Communist Broadcasting Corporation, paid for with our tax dollars. You know, and I guess anyway, hockey night in Canada turned out to be more than just a hockey game. It was all part of the propaganda to get you in there and watching that, and then a little propaganda that started seeding into your brain. So that's some examples of the one party rule. You could really go into that for a while, but we really see that strong in Canada right now, and the state control of the economy. Right, we see that hallmark, state control of the economy, mostly through the green scam, the big green scam that's really being pushed, and that's look what they've done to Alberta, right, and controlling that. So it's pretty crazy. And we see them taking away our guns, taking away our firearms. That's we can go back in history and look at some of the communist countries that have done that. The Soviet Union, Vietnam, China, Cuba, North Korea, Germany. We know under who in Germany when they did this, and you know uh, any uh, any cop that's been around for a while will tell you that licensed gun owners are not the problem. You just have to turn on the fake news and see these daily shootings going on in Vancouver or elsewhere. Daily shootings, and none of those are done by licensed gun owners or licensed guns. So licensed gun owners are not the problem. The only reason they're pushing that agenda, they have an agenda, and it's not to do with safety or to help anyone except themselves. So anyway, that's regarding that. Else was I going to mention about about the gun issue? Here's an example. So just recently, there was this tragedy in Vancouver, this Filipino festival they had, and tragically, a car came in and mowed a bunch of people down, and a lot of people died. A lot of people are injured for life, severely injured, and it wasn't. We didn't blame the car for killing those people. We blamed the sick fellow there, the sick individual that did that. He's got problems, he's sick, and he took his car and mowed all these people down. And it wasn't a gun he used. So, guns don't kill people, people kill people. And, that's all I'll say about that. Okay, so the point I'm trying to get across and just raise awareness is that Canada is on a trajectory for full out communism. And it's with the help of this new foundation. And please do not let this be the new foundation of Canada. I don't care what side you're on, they're taking away your freedoms. And I'll tell you the side that I'm on. I'm on the side of liberty, freedom, and justice for all. And, don't forget that even the word liberal, the name liberal, has been hijacked. Liberal used to mean freedom, liberty, but it's been hijacked. And now it means, a leftist communist ideology. And don't forget this. Remember that you can't always believe your eyes. It's your heart that sees through all their lies.